He hits him with a great three-piece chicken meal right there. I mean, incredible. Well played by Darklight, but T-Bird coming home with a huge, huge combo.
I will be right back.
Take your time. All right, looks like Sun God won his round in the loser's bracket as well. Or actually, no, is this the loser's bracket? We're talking about the, is he a winner as well? Yeah, so he won against Short in the winner's quarterfinals, I should say, actually. I misspoke there. It looks like we're going to be looking at, that was Darklight and T-Bird in the winner's quarterfinals as well. It looks like we have Ryan and Kwazi now as well in the winner's finals, or quarterfinals, I should say. So we're going to see Kwazi and Ryan here. Kwazi sticking with the heavy mace against a Vanguard Greatsword. I will not be surprised if he chooses to make a switch here. After a death, should he go down in this fight. We're just waiting on the ref to set this up. Cody, let's go ahead and take a look at Kwazi and Ryan mauled here. All right, we've got these guys set up. Ryan rocking his greatsword, the pre-order Royals Zweihander, quite a cool skin. He's ready to fight. So is Kwazi. The fight begins. Kwazi again using the heavy mace against a Vanguard here, so I'm not going to be surprised if we see a swap from him should he choose to do so after a death here. Ryan getting a nice...
Ryan.
Yep, watching Kwazi Ryan here. Ryan opens up first blood with a nice little stab.
This is quite an interesting matchup. I don't think I've seen these guys fight ever.
Yeah, me either. Oh, big Axel from Kwazi here. Great Axel again, feinting. Wow, great footwork from Ryan. Really great footwork there.
He was going for the toe drag, but at least was not long enough to hit the ground.
Yeah, he wasn't able to be able to, you know, readjust after Ryan had moved out of the way. Now they're both quite low.
As Knight against the Vanguard, you are at the movement disadvantage when it comes to this sort of inside play, and neutral as well. But
yeah, you don't really think about that movement capability. It's very slight, right? But it does make a difference in these kind of footwork fights. With that Vanguard perk that they have to move the same speed with large weapons. Wow, huge drag there from Kwazi. Huge drag.
Yeah, it looks like you conditioned him for quite a few excels before that, and then just opened up with it.
Yeah, that's the danger of that weapon, especially the heavy mace. Any weapon like that has really good mix-up capability where it's extremely slow when you want it to be and it's extremely fast when you want it to be is very dangerous to have to read.
It just goes to show, even these players that are super familiar with the game, they still get tricked by drags and still get tricked by excels. It just makes the game, it's, you know, minute to learn, lifetime to master kind of thing.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. Everybody's going to get caught with something once in a while. Kwazi using really good use of that release time on the heavy mace.
Notice the blue sparks in this fight compared to the last one, and I think we'll notice a little bit higher of a counter rate. No offense, of course, but
yeah, many counters being thrown out here. We haven't really seen many ripostes. Kwazi known for, or both these players known for their ability to keep their counters up for a long time. Kwazi going for that double stab.
The thing about Kwazi's offense is he always tries to be safe with it.
But you will see, what I like about Kwazi, though, is that he's not super safe. He does throw in gambles. He will try and steal initiative if he finds an opening for it. And that serves him well because he's not predictable.
Exactly. And that's a good player knows when to take a risk. And I think we'll see, especially as a Knight where you have more health to give in this matchup, it's okay to get hit occasionally. It's best not to, but you know.
Right, no, but you can give up a hit if it means that you have a chance at getting a bigger hit.
You gotta spend money to make money, as I say.
Exactly.
Wow, that same drag.
I really thought that Axel was going to hit him before the drag landed, but it didn't.
Yeah. And again, with good spacing, Ryan can punish that, but
you know, that Axel
a master of spacing himself is going to make it difficult, even with the speed disadvantage.
Yeah, we are in winners right now. This is winners quarterfinals, the last round of that winners quarterfinals set, Goom. You thought Kwazi was in losers? What world are you living in? This is Kwazi's world, guys. We just live in it.
You in my face.
Ryan has room to make adaptations here, though.
Yeah, no, Ryan is no slouch either. We can't expect him to be an easy fight for Kwazi. Testing each other here, going for some attack cancels, seeing who wants to get baited first.
Yep, we haven't seen a lot of neutral from these players in this particular matchup. It makes sense because Kwazi does have the advantage in that realm with the faster horizontals.
Yep. Big little axled overhead for Kwazi, little bop on the head. Couple ripostes here.
So it's interesting that we've seen very few kicks in this matchup. Maybe
Yeah,
just jabs.
I really do not see Kwazi ever go for kicks. I don't think it's an option he likes to utilize very often.
And I think maybe he has the confidence to basically just space himself such that he doesn't need to necessarily catch people like that, you know?
Yeah, no, he's got better options that are safer for him. He can still take risks with other ways, but I feel like that risk is a little bit less safe for him, and he chooses not to. A lot of our top level players really don't utilize his kicks to that level because of that. Big counters here. Oh, huge overhead drag from Kwazi. That's going to be 3-0, I believe, in his favor. Cool and collected. He didn't take a single point of damage that round. He is really just an android. He is a machine. He plays like an AI that Torn Banner built to win the money back from the tournaments that they give us.
Yeah, wouldn't that be the biggest conspiracy of all time?
I think it is the real
Actually.
conspiracy. I think Kwazi is actually a robot built by Torn Banner to take all the money from the prize pools.
All the peasant hats. And just showing that Heavy Mace, even against the Vanguard, is such a threat.
It is. It is. A lot of blunt weapons in this game are useful against any class. I mean, they're supposed to be used against knights, but you can see here they're used to great effect. That's why I've always liked the pull hammer, because the damage differential is really not that high. Like, you can get a 2 or 3 hit against a Vanguard the same as you can get a knight.
And general shout out for this game being relatively balanced. Like, despite all we're talking about different weapons being good or bad, any weapon can still win. It's not like a different fighting game, say like Smash, where there's only 8 top, contenders for characters you can play.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's relatively well balanced in that fact. One of my favorite things in this game was on release was leveling every up to level 15 at the very least, right?
Yeah.
Seeing what was usable, and everything is usable. So that point where you can use any weapon and get a kill with it, as long as you know its weaknesses and its strengths and play to them.
And I mean, even a weapon like Pickaxe is just, because it's not used so much, because it's so fast, it can I mean, not
Catch
saying
people
I
off
necessarily
guard.
like to play against it, but it does catch better players sometimes because of how fast it is. and
Yeah,
because of
you
how-
fight Wildcard Mask one day, and then you're like, oh, I haven't fought the pickaxe in 3 months, and here it is, and I just got gambled 3 times, and what am I supposed to do? So it's it can be, anything can be used against anything. I got a message here from Funk that we will be restarting the server after this fight is over. Not the fight, but the set. Man, Kwazi is putting on some heavy pressure. I mean, Ryan is not landed a hit yet. He's not utilizing any kicks or jabs, and
I think
Kwazi
he's
is
playing
just keeping
too
the
safe.
pressure.
That's
Yeah.
the nature of that matchup. Greatsword, you just don't have that many offensive options there. It's just a matter of catching him. And again, Ryan did this to great effect in his qualifier performance, where he would stay inside and then he would use his speed to outspace a counter and then land a punish off that. But against a player like Kwazi, he did miss a few times in those earlier rounds, and Ryan did punish him. But at the end of the day, it's if you're relying on whiff punishes, you need the whiffs to be good.
Yeah. Kwazi is not a person that's going to be whiffing very often. I think that's actually the first damage that he's taken this set. If I'm not
He took some
incorrect.
hits. No, he took some hits in the earlier rounds for sure.
Okay, yeah, I definitely missed that then. Huge attacks here. Oh man, he's really
If you space
impressive.
that Alt XL like that, it's probably one of the fastest attacks on the two-hander in the game. Wow, there it is.
There it is.
Command
Yeah, Kwazi, really, really, really dominant. I mean, as expected, he's one of the best players, if not the best player in Chivalry Duel community. For well known by everyone.